I played over 100 games with Springtrap, and today I'm gonna be going over how you should get into playing Mr. Afton and what perks work with him, how his power functions, what add-ons to run, and even more. Ever since Springtrap came out, I've been obsessed with this killer. He's been the most hyped character ever in the game. I made a whole video talking about that and how the FNAF chapter was an insane success. You should go check it out. And in today's video, I'm gonna be going over the character itself, not story. I'm gonna be going over the power and how it functions and what I've learned over the games that I've played. First, let's get over Springtrap's power. Springtrap's power is him throwing a fire axe, pretty much. But it's not as simple as it says. So, Springtrap starts out with a fire axe and 7 security doors that he can travel through. And the security doors are equipped with cameras that the survivors can look through if they interact with the security door. Survivors can also travel through the security doors, but if Springtrap travels at the same time as survivors, he will get an instant down by grabbing them through the security room. The doors also have a limited battery, which when fully depleted, the doors will go on to a limited cooldown, which survivors can't interact with them, but Springtrap can still go through them. I know by now that Springtrap's gameplay, especially for survivors, sounds very similar to the game Five Nights at Diddy's. But Springtrap's power isn't just security doors. As I said previously, he also comes with a fire axe, and you can throw the fire axe similarly to Huntress's hatchet. However, Springtrap's axe differs from Huntress because of its weight. While Huntress's hatchet goes in a decently straight line, Springtrap's axe has increased weight to it, so it drops down a lot faster than Huntress's. And also, Springtrap's axe has a way smaller hitbox than Huntress's hatchet. And that can lead to it being decently hard to hit a survivor. I struggled very much at the start when I played Springtrap. Springtrap's axe also has some unique features to it. When you hit a survivor with the axe, it gets embedded into them. Survivors can try and remove the axe, but if Springtrap's caught up to them, he can perform a grab. A grab does a mini jumpscare to the survivor and instantly puts the survivor on the Springtrap's back, preventing any attempts at a flashlight save. And if the axe is embedded to a survivor or left on the floor, Springtrap moves faster. Normally, Springtrap moves at a 110 meters per second, but without the axe, Springtrap moves 115 meters per second. So there's a minor speed difference, but it is a recommended tactic that you leave the axe on the ground until you need it. In summary, Springtrap has a moderately decent kit. His power is serviceably simple, and it has a decent skill ceiling, with the main skill being to learn the hatchet's flight pattern, which add-ons can help with. Springtrap has a variety of good add-ons. All his add-ons are usable to an extent. He has no outstandingly great add-ons, but he also has no bad add-ons, so let's go over some of the good ones. Help Wanted add. This add-on is a great beginner thing. You're gonna run this if you're starting out on Springtrap and you've never played Huntress. This shows the axe's flight path. You're gonna use this when you start playing, but I recommend getting rid of it pretty early on so you don't use it as a crutch. Security Guard Badge. This add-on extends the duration of the undetectable status that Springtrap gets whenever he goes through the security doors. It is a fun add-on for stealth builds, and and even if it got nerfed down 25%, it is still very usable. Chica's Bib. This add-on gives survivors the exhausted status effect, so they can't use perks like Sprint Burst, Dead Hard, Light, for example. Whenever the axe is embedded on a surface, it has a small area effect range, which gives you killer instinct if survivors are in the radius of it. And while they are in set radius, they gain the exhausted status effect thanks to this add-on. This add-on is a decent tool. You can still get value from your axe even if you miss it, just by survivors standing in the radius. And it lingers for 5 seconds after they leave the area effect. Purple guy drawing. This add-on is a aura reading type. If the axe is embedded on a survivor and they do a rushed action, you mean like vaults a window, vaults a pallet, etc., you can see their aura. And when they remove the axe, you can briefly see their aura as well. This is a decently good add-on if you play on a certain style. So you don't just blindly rush the survivor when the axe is embedded. You let them gain some distance, try and mind game them a little. This add-on works very great with Lethal Pursuer, which increases its aura reading duration. Celebrate Poster. This add-on gives Springtrap 12% haste whenever he hits Survivor with the axe. But Survivor is also given 12% haste boost as well, and all other survivors in 32-meter radius. This add-on puts chases on a overdrive. Theoretically, you can end chases much faster due to this add-on, and you can stack this up with other haste perks to make it even faster for yourself. Foxy's Hook. This is very similar to Chica's Bib in a sense that it requires the area effect to work. So, if you or the survivor is in the hook's area effect range, you gain 7% haste buff. This lingers for 6 seconds after leaving the area, so you can use this as a quick catch-up tool even if you miss the axe. This also is a good add-on in the sense that if you miss your axe, you can still get value of it if it's close enough and you can get up the range of it. Bonnie's Guitar Strings. This is by far Springtrap's best add-on, even after it got nerfed. So, you see the aura of generators being repaired when you look through the security doors. However, you lose the undetectable status effect that you get when you normally go through the doors. But seeing the aura of gens being worked on is by far a better compensation. Plus, you can run security guard badge with this to gain some form of undetectable. Those are all of Springtrap's best add-ons in my opinion. Here's a tier list of all of them to see how I view the rest of them that I didn't mention, but most of them are pretty solid though, so you're pretty safe to run pretty much anything, but those are just the ones that I like the most. Springtrap is fun in a way that you can basically run anything with him. He's pretty versatile. I'm gonna be showing you the perks that I like to use and why I like using them. First of all, any perks that give survivors blindness are great with Springtrap, because if survivors have blindness, they cannot see if they have scanned you with the cameras if they're blind, and that way you easily take away one of the counterplays that they have for your power. Next up, we have Blood Favor. I know this perk is controversial, especially recently, but that's because it's kind of strong. So, this perk activates when you take a health state away from a survivor. After that, all nearby pallets get blocked for a period of time. This is incredibly strong chase tool, and for Springtrap, it works super well. Next up, we got Surge. This, I say, is a must perk. I basically have this almost on my every build on Springtrap. This perk basically just breaks gens automatically when you down a survivor with your basic attack. This is such a time saver because me personally, I hate breaking gens manually, so a tool like this that does it automatically is a very good one. You can also use Pain Res if you feel like using that, so you don't have to force the M1 and you want to use the axe more, but this is just the one I prefer. And one interesting pick that I like is Monitor and Abuse. So Springtrap already has a small terror radius, and with Monitor it becomes even smaller. So even if you don't use the security doors, or if you run bunnies guitar strings, you still have some form of stealth because the terror radius is so small. It's an extremely fun perk, and you don't even have to run a stealth build around it. You can just run it with whatever perks, and it's just fun. And for my last pick, I have Barbecue. Barbecue and Chili is a classic perk. What it does is it reveals the auras of survivors after you've hooked a survivor. This is incredibly strong, so you know where to go after hooking a survivor, and because the doors are usually pretty close to gens, there's a pretty good chance they're on gens and you just teleport right into them. So, yeah, there it is. Springtrap is a fun killer. From what I've learned from all these games, he's fun. His skill ceiling is decent. It's pretty easy to pick up. You definitely don't need to play 100 games to master the character. You just learn, as I've said previously, the access flight path and you're pretty much good to go. The doors are pretty self-explanatory and pretty easy to use, and it's just fun. And I think it's a great design choice that a character that is made to appeal a fan base that is so large like FNAF is easy to pick up and fun to play. Sure, it might be hard for a while, but you get used to it, and I hope you enjoy playing him. And tell me if you enjoyed the video, and tell me if I glossed over something. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.